Yep, they're all settling in. He's been out since this morning.
No wonder. Oh, wow.
Since like 6:30 this
He's
morning.
probably tired.
And then Tango, he's he's come inside longer than he has.
Oh.
Like he started coming in,
Uh-huh.
and then he's like, "Hey, what are you doing in there?" And so he started coming in, and then it was like, "Oh, this is where the good food is. Oh, this is where you wake up and you get pets, and they started recognizing the benefit. Oh, this is where you stay at night and you don't get eaten. This is the good stuff."
Oh, that's funny.
There's Tango. Look at that. He's getting big. He's like in his 20s now.
Oh, really?
He's like a 20-year-old.
It,
And he's such a love. He's such an affectionate cat. I don't want it feral like the rest of them. I don't want him like where he's not like I can't grab him in an emergency. Like we got to bug out. All right, load up the band. Who's going? It'll be our own little Noah's Ark if we have to evacuate from the fire. Only just dogs and cats. And little old ladies. Spinsters. We're a couple of spinsters, Ma. That's what we are. Nothing more than a couple of spinsters. Alrighty, let's talk. Oh, I'm a mess. Hello, welcome to my tube. My name's Marge. I'm a Heyoka empath. I just like having these little talks on the way I feel about things. I don't have my light. I don't have my production light, Ma. Yeah, where's that grip? Where's that grip at? Where's that stagehand? Where's my help? Oh, why did I grab the crappy one?
That's a good light.
No, something got on it. I don't know what got on it. It smells like crayon, is what it smells like wax. But I don't know what got on it. I don't know what could have got on it, but I got that one in Oregon, so it's been through a lot. This one's better, same light, but doesn't have that solvent on it. That one it's sticky and it like wore it down, so I gotta be extra careful. But I like the premise of these lights because they have the solar tile on the top, and so they're charged by the sun.
Oh.
Or I can plug them in and charge them from an electrical source. And they also
That's blue.
they have different colors.
All different.
All different colors, so the company is I don't even want to mention where I got them from because they suck. So I usually like to buy direct anyway. Goal Zero Crush Light Chroma. So that's a good product for the end of world times. I said, "Ma, you want to have some pastries before we brush teeth?" And she's like, "Sure." And then so they're only like this big, and these had raspberry in them. Oh my gosh. Mom, we're so blessed. People are so good to us. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to have another talk tonight, is because I want to recognize, after my conversation with myself earlier, I wanted to recognize that with every negatives, because I've been in a funk for like, I don't know, a few days, several days. Like I just haven't, I can't shake. It's just the energy. I know what it is. It's just the placements. And so I freaking know what to do. When you feel bad, you got to get out and you got to do stuff and try and be a service and be, make somebody else that's having a worse time than you feel better. Or if not, they're not even having a bad time, making a decent day even better in some capacity. Because there's always a way to make a day better or worse, and I have those tendencies too. But I'm not trying to live in those from that heart space today, because I'm living in gratitude. So, the positive and negative in every situation. I mean, there's always positive and negative, and there's going to be so many fluctuations between now and frickin' the end of time. Well, that could be any time. Really, I mean, time ends for a lot of people every day. Unexpectedly, man, life is a trip, and the clocks are sinking, and so. But today there was a lot of positives to it, and I got to go down to the coffee shop and have some fellowship with some folks, and I got to meet a nice young girl, Rosie. She lives out on the mesa, and her friends. God, I'm trying to be better with names. I can't remember their names right now at all. But they had a little baby, and they just got a new car, and so everybody was enjoying the excitement of having the new car, you know, because man, it's far out there, you know, and it's nice to be able, and they shared, you know, it's like a community car. It's like the couple went in on it with this other young girl, so she can go see her friends too, because she doesn't have a driver's license, you know. And one of the coolest things was, I was just sharing this with Mom before the talk, but Mom doesn't ever mind hearing my stories over and over. They're not redundant to her. That's God's little gift to her. So, I got to engage with word whimsy, and there's talks on my. I've done over 1,800 videos now, and so, I mean, I know there's so many talks that I've talked about from like the beginning of the stuff that's happening now. It's a trip, but things I've talked about is just like, you know, I just miss hanging out with some friends, some buddies, some pals, you know. And just engaging in word whimsy, and then freaking, you know, those belly laughs, you know, those we have them all the time, Ma. I think that's why our spirits are as high as they are. It's because we laugh a lot. Yeah. So we got to engage in some word whimsy, and because there's a show I like to watch. I love word whimsy. Here's my dictionary. I haven't shown it in a while. Letterkenny. Letterkenny is the show I like to watch. And the writers of that, they're brilliant with the word whimsy. And the fellow I was talking with today, Bedrock. This is my dictionary. I'm bursting the word. Yeah, and how people manipulate words and stuff like that. Yeah, this has a couple bird feathers in it. And the coolest part about this dictionary is that it came from a woman named Irene M. Gardner. Grandma Gardner.
Oh my God.
This is Grandma Gardner's dictionary, and anybody that went to school at Project City School in for the 30 years that she played the piano for the first grade class, Mrs. Davis, you know, giving out lemon drops. Yeah. You know how I fell asleep in class all the time, Ma? That's a placement. I think it's like Jupiter, Venus and Jupiter, or I don't know it right now off the top of my head, but it's a placement. It's a placement that you got to engage the kid. I was listening to this really cool talk. And that's why I used to fall asleep in class all the time. I had this astrological placement. And the lady said in a talk recently, she said, you know, the kids that have these placements, because she was paying attention, she made the mistake of seeding all the fires with the fire, the water with the water, the air, and earth, right? So you had the air, the fire that just ruled the class, and you had the air that are just like, oh my God, all the earth are just like, So it's kind of trippy. But I think I've always thought that they should incorporate astrology into schools, but they never would because it makes too much sense. And as you know, the system is designed to create distortion. It's to create distortion. So, anyway, Grandma Gardner dictionary. let's see. Okay, here was my comment. Jupiter and Pisces. I said, Jupiter and Pisces. I fell asleep a lot in class. Thank you. That was on Pam Gregory's talk. And she had an astrologer on. Anyway, so Grandma Gardner, she was so nice to everyone. She was like, I don't know, I'm 48 and she...
Is she still alive?
No, Ma, she passed away long ago. I believe you still lived in the cabin when she passed away. Mom was her neighbor. She lived down the street from Mom. Just around the corner from Project City School in Northern California. We moved around a lot. We kind of make an appearance and then bounce out. Oh, Ma.
Yeah.
We've been around. We've covered a lot of road in our life. So I've seen a lot of different personality types, and I've seen a lot of people that have the same personality types. But I don't know. People are the same wherever you go. Everybody has potential. So I got to engage in word whimsy today, and the fella that I got to talk, I got to put this over the top because the cats sit on it, and if they ruin this, I would probably have to ruin them, and we don't want nothing ruined, so we just protect things. I should put it away, but I don't know. It's fine. It's been fine there. So oh yeah, and I always, as long as I was, you pay attention to frickin' Noah Webster. Cleveland, New York, 1967, World Publishing Company. Has a picture of the pretentious D-bag on the front. Copyright, 1966. But it also goes back to 1933, and then it has a different copyright from 1904. So take your pick, kids. It's pretty cool. They have really dumbed down society, I tell you that. So the fellow Bedrock, he's big dude. Big guy, right? Very kind guy. He's like, I'm too old to fight. But he's done his pretty fair share, right? He grew up. I got to learn more about him today. That's why I love hearing about going and fellowshipping with people, man. I fellowship with people in the grocery store, at the grocery store. You're just finding out about them. What they're... Because I know all about me. I don't need to know more about me. I need to know less about me, know more about other people. That's how you relate to other people, That's how foundations are built. So, Bedrock and... I forgot to mention to tell him about this because I ran into him one time at the gas station where that dumbass freaking knocked the Slurpee out of my hand, and I ran into him there one time, so I got to tell him the story. But found out today because his mom lives in El Paso, and that's where you're from. That's where you were adopted from. I think you're from New Mexico, but whatever. That's what it says on your birth certificate, but you were also adopted when you were 3, and so your birthday certificate was from your 3, not from when you were born because you were adopted. So it's not your 1950 birth certificate. Does that make sense to you? Okay. So, anyway, so we have that common denominator. So, okay, and then, when he was sharing today, he's like, he grew up, he had to learn how to speak proper English because if he didn't, his aunts would he'd get smacked. I mean, you don't talk like a dummy. You don't speak like an imbecile. That's why I think it was Greg who was hard on me with my speech when I was younger, because of my freaking trauma. People don't understand that trauma is so much more woo-woo than fucking people give it the credit. Sometimes, weird things happen, supernatural, otherworldly things happen all the time that science can't explain. They're just so stupid that their rationale and their reasons why are just really dumb and they're not even creative, right? Because what do they know how to create? They read a bunch of books based on what other people's thoughts and opinions are, right? Mostly, that's what I've seen. Stop. So, to have conversations with articulate people, it's not commonplace these days anymore. It's not. There are people that are articulate. There's pockets of them, but you gotta go, like astrology. I listen to a lot of astrology. And I'll listen to, I might not like the person, but I'll listen to their astrology because I appreciate their perspective. Even though the whole time I'm like having like, my eye twitching because they're so freaking egoic that I'm just like, just let them just listen to what they're saying. I use it as practice, see? I use it as practice. Because some people, man, and their high-class problems, I tell you what, it's just, whatever. So, it was really freaking cool to engage with the word whimsy today. And then I did go back to another gas station. I got my IC, gosh darn it. I got my IC. And a lady had a name tag with the granny sold it to me. I almost said, you're not going to knock this out of my hand, are you? And that's, speaking of astrology, that's what we're gonna get a lot. The freaking, oh god, this eclipse energy is just, oh my god. And now we're coming up on the second one. Woo. As the energetic sensitive man, I've been waking up and like first thing taking 2 tablespoons of CBD infused that my buddy Bedrock, 2-week cold fused, and it's just CBD. And it because I don't like, a lot of people like to smoke to get high, smoke cannabis flower. I don't like to be high all the time. I like to be clear-headed, and with CBD you get the body effects and it keeps my head stays clear. So he that was cool, and to see that more people using that more medicine. It also sucks because stoners are lazy. I'm not thinking about him. I'm just switching gears of like how I see the direction of society going. Supply and demand and stuff, all this stuff. And I was paying attention today to the stuff that wasn't on the shelves, but mostly, just like I've always said, whatever mom and I want or need has always been there. And that's why we've never lived so extravagantly, There's Stanley back there. He's coming down. Cute kitty-o, Stanley. So, the 5 baby kittens in back are getting big. They're getting way more animated. The cat freaking factory continues. I gotta find that lady's number. I gotta find it. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna just start catching cats, and then the only thing that they do is they trim their ear to identify that they've been spayed or neutered. And what am I gonna do? It's all positive and negative, negative and positive. So, energetic sensitive. I hope you're finding ways to stay grounded. Fellowship is always good to me. My placements, man. I'm a projector in human design. INFJ. I get charged from people. Yeah, and I enjoy hanging out with good-hearted people. The people that the society considers heathens, a lot of times. And I'm like, man, the things that people come up with, it's just silly, I just think, Some of the salt of the earth is what I think. Salt of the earth. The kind of people that come in handy during the end of the world. Yep. So, I was wrong also in my talk earlier. It wasn't early on Sunday morning. It was early on Saturday morning. So, 8 food allergy. 8 o'clock in the morning. Just crap went sour all day, and then Saturday morning. So thank God. That God gave her the grace to avoid that on Mother's Day. Because that's just freaking stupid, sucky, shitty. So, to see the community that they're gonna come together for that young man, it just it does my heart good, because that they're all gonna come out big, you know, because their mom and dad are good people, and people are really gonna show up for them too. The whole community is. I mean, it's a kid that everybody loved. So there's a ripple in the universe, that's for sure. It's rippled all the way to New Mexico. And whoever watches this, it's rippling out to you wherever you are. So, the ways people can impact people. Yeah. So, anyway, what else was I going to talk about? So I went and got my Slurpee, and then I was having a conversation when I was getting my Slurpee, because there's a man making his hot dog. He had gotten a soda. Where you going, Tuck? You hot? Go, yeah, get a drink. See, it's starting to get hot in here. I turned off the fan, though, because it was nice and cool in here. But I turned off the fan because I think he was licking his paw, too. So the guy I was talking about, I said, it's just nice to be out and about on this beautiful day, you know. And people seemingly mostly in a good mood. And he's like, yeah. I said, I don't get out very much. He said, I don't either. But sometimes you got to get out, just because if you don't, you get a little squirrely. You get a little squirrely in the squirrel cage. So, he got his stuff, and there is a line starting to form. There's like two people behind me. And so it would have been him. And so I just told Granny behind, that's what her name tag says, Granny. I'm not just calling her Granny. That's what her name. So Granny behind the corner, there you go, Tuck. Here, leave her alone. I'll turn the phone back on if you want. I paid for his too. And then when I was standing there was a guy 2 people back, and he noticed my shirt, and he's like, can you got an 800 number or something for that rescue? Because his mom has been looking for a beagle, and she's been looking everywhere for a beagle. This is the Basset Beagle Rescue of the Heartland. Evidently they had a Facebook page, but it got it got messed up somehow. People say hacked, but there's other things that I don't know. Anyway, so they got an email address, right? And the guy was saying, yeah, my mom was even going to go as far as Nebraska to get one. I said, this rescue is in Nebraska. It's where I moved from. Because there's a guy in front. We're actually having this conversation because there's a guy in front who his card wasn't working. And then she had to go ask. And so this is like as we're standing there. I said, that's how I got to this place. I said, I got here from Salem, Oregon, because this is the closest place I could find that would allow me to keep my family together. So I have 4. I rescued 4. And he said, and I said, yeah, and when somebody's like, wow, and somebody, because now the line's getting longer. And somebody else is like, man, that's a long, Oregon, Salem. I said, yeah, it's a long way to have to go to have to keep your family together, because so many people are greedy and selfish, Ma. People aren't like their rentals, their houses, you know? Like you have a lot of these military people that move from state to state, house to house, more so in the 70s, 80s, you know, 2000s. Because they stopped really, you know, moving around every 3 years when I was in the Air Force anyway. I don't know what it's like now. And they closed a lot of bases and stuff like that, right? Because now they just siphon funds in other ways. right? They don't. But then every 19 years they perpetuate a war. It's such nonsense. What was I talking about? Tucker's down here. I'm trying not to step on him. Freaking military. Oh, so they move around and they buy a house, and then when they leave, they rent it. They just rent it out, right? And they do this everywhere they go. And some people, depending on how much, Uncle Sam's they suck. Some of them get to do this all over the world with properties all over the world, because there's duty stations and bases all over the world. So they buy up all this property everywhere, right? And then ultimately they turn it over to a property manager, and now those days are over. Now they just turned them all to short-term, short lease residences where they're like hotels, but you rent the house. And you could do it for smaller blocks of time. You could do it for a couple weeks, It's basically turning your house into a hotel. So all these freaking people have turned their shit into that. Any place where there's a fucking view or something to see. And so now it's making it real hard, especially for us freaking financially impaired. Yeah. Financially disadvantaged, but we have everything we need. I just really want to guess everybody's feeling that antsy feeling of getting through past something right now, and I'm ready to frickin' do this move. So, is he panting? Yeah. He just drank water for lunch. Is that better? He stopped panting. Jeez, these lights too, oddly enough. These lights. See, I'm about done talking anyway. I've been running my mouth for long enough. I just wanted, hey, Ahmad. Yeah, cutting down is definitely good. Cutting down. I think about stopping. I think about it. And then I think about, God, man, how sensitive I'm getting. That does not seem like a good idea right now. But I have cut down a lot. A lot. Like, I'll load a bowl in the water pipe and and then that's what I'll smoke that's it. Like, no more, really. But mine are in my edibles. And I had a really yummy gummy today. I had a yummy gummy today. Yeah, they were tiny. They were good. It was good. They were, what's it? Oh, what are the kids calling it? I can't remember. Shatter. They're shatter. Shatter gummies. Anyway. So, I hope the energetic sensitives are finding ways to ground. Get out in nature. Barefoot. I try to walk around barefoot, man. I am such a tenderfoot, man. My feet have gotten so sensitive in just the last few years. I remember there have been times where I could just walk. I could walk on in creek beds and stuff like that barefoot. And now it's like, Yeah, it ain't fun. So, alright. I guess that's it. Though, what else happened good today? Mom ate real good. Huh? We had good food today, huh? Good meals. I like coming home from the store when I got a full water jug. I need to get another water jug. A second 5-gallon. Or maybe even a third. But, when we have everything that we need, that is just a good feeling. And that's, even times that, times growing up, we didn't always have what we need. So now as an adult, though, I know what it feels like. And just changing your perspective. And that's how I understand changing the past to the present, is just putting your idea on how you look at and interpret things now on things as you remember then. And most people are just stuffing their stuff anyway. They're not dealing with stuff. They just forget all about it. But it's still in your mind, and it comes out on weird times. Man, life is a trip, man. Life is so much more supernatural than people give it credit. So much. I mean, I have the ability to telekinesis. I get it from Mom. And it's been verified by people all over the, between Oregon and here. Want to see my lighter trick? So, evidently more and more people are coming into their superpowers. It's just, what are they doing with it? And I'm seeing more egoic stuff all the time, More egoic, and people are just gonna go really dip. We're just gonna live in Babylon for a while. That's just how it's gonna be, until people, come to respect themselves and I mean, yeah, if you want to freaking call it, sexual healing or whatever, you're freaking mixing your energy field with other people's energy fields, and the more you do that, it ain't recommended, for chasing sensations, and people can call it whatever you want. But I've always been that person. I've always been a one-woman woman. I just don't know who she is yet. I don't even know if she is. It might not. She might not even be in this incarnate. I mean, or it might be one of those that's like, see her on the street and it was like that's it. I don't know. I don't think I've seen her yet in real life.